Yeah.
How's it going, lovebirds? This is Derek Brown Jr. with episode 6 of the Good Relationships podcast. I have two very special guests for you today. This will actually be our first ever couple on the Good Relationships podcast, and the topic is discovering hope in a new relationship. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and then we're going to get right into the topic.
Yeah, this is this is Mark Lillard Height here, long friend of Derek's here. So,
Hey, I'm Jess. I'm with Mark.
Excellent. So, once again, this is our first couple going into the Good Relationships podcast, and it's a special treat because they actually have only been dating for about how many weeks?
I think it's almost a month. Yeah.
Excellent, because I know there's a bunch of people that are listening to this right now that are either just getting into relationships or they're looking to get into relationships, and they're like, well, what do I expect when I do meet somebody that I may like or I may not like? Like, you know, what do I expect? I don't want to go into this relationship and really be wasting my time. So we get the honor of giving them some tips. You guys get the honor of giving them like what it's going to look like going into a relationship early on. So I do have some questions to start this off. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Excellent. So the first question is, when you first met, what feelings came about when you realized that he was not like other guys? And this is for you, Jess.
Oh, okay. I think the first thing that I noticed, well, besides him being very handsome, you're welcome, is that he was very, he had like a vision for his life, and he was very driven and goal-oriented, and he was going to do his own thing no matter what, you know, and I really appreciated that. I look for something like that in a guy. So that was the first thing. Is that good?
No, that's excellent. That's excellent.
and I say for me, as far as like what I knew from Jess, I've always been a person that's like the mind of people. Like, I've always been attracted to people's personalities and how they think more than anything. And from her, she's an artist on her end, so like she draws really great pieces. And also, I'm gonna probably plug you in here in a minute, but like, you know what I'm saying, she has great art pieces. And I feel like I've always been attracted to minds more than I am appearances, but she has both, so that's awesome. So like, for what I feel like, for me, it was more of a battle with myself as far as like what to actually expect, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I noticed for myself I had to be more transparent overall, you know what I'm saying? I know that's probably not even daring in with your question there, but like, that's one thing I want to touch on is not being closed-minded, you know what I'm saying? So like, for her, it was like I was already attracted to that, and I felt like her being who she is made me even want her even more. So
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I don't know. And like for me, I've struggled like a lot of my life, like trying to be someone that another person likes, you know, like whatever I try to figure out what they like and then I become it. And for me, going into our first date, I was like very intentionally trying not to do that. And I was like, I'm just gonna be myself, like 100%. And if he doesn't like it, well then, you know, okay, fine. Like, I'm still me. I still love me, you know. And just trying to be secure in the person that I am, and not letting like someone else's opinions like affect how I view myself, kind of thing. So just bouncing off what he said. So.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because something I've been kind of like talking about a lot in the last episodes is just like being able to be yourself 100% whenever you meet somebody.
Yeah.
So
I think sometimes, let me phrase this properly. So like, for me at first, I didn't really know who I was, right? But I wanted to be in a relationship, and that was I felt like that was conflicting. Like, how am I gonna find who I am on my own 100% when I'm trying to like be someone for somebody and like be in a relationship? Some people can do it. I felt like I couldn't. So I intentionally like was single for a very long time, and like I would date people to see how to date, or like what a date should look like, or how I want to be treated, or practice how I wanted to be treated. But it was never like like I'm looking for a mate. Like I was very intentional. Like I was single. I wanted to be single. I feel like I still wanted to be single when I went on my first date with you, Mark.
Right.
But you're like everything about you is like, actually, I kind of like you. Actually, this is a man.
Gotcha. Well, I got some lady like this. No, and to add on to that, I feel like for me, I get what you're saying as far as like you want to be able to be that person for somebody, so you try to fix yourself in order for you to be able to think ultimately that's happiness, because you like everybody don't want to feel like they want to be alone. You know, everybody don't want to be alone towards the end of their lives or anything, even though we're not at the end of our lives or anything. Like people want to be able to practice how it's actually going to be, so like you try to sculpt yourself into something that you're not, and that was something that I've actually did myself, and I'm like, that's more exhausting than it is anything. So what I've told myself to do is start being more transparent, because I felt like I was telling myself lies to believe the lie, to be able to share it to somebody else as to be me and me. And I'm like, why am I doing that? You know what I'm saying? Because I felt like over the time, it's like when I'm done or being around that person, it's like, oh,
exhausted.
Like, damn, like why did it have to feel like that?
Right.
So like me being who I am, and actually showing who I am, being transparent, it's not like that. It's not. It's like, and also that she, you know what I'm saying, she feels that she can relate to me more on that end. So I'm like, oh, okay, she actually likes me for who I am and not somebody that I'm trying to play to be. So yeah.
Because like at the end of the day, like if you do decide to spend your life with this person, they're going to eventually find out who you weren't.
Exactly. It's like,
so why are you faking?
No need to do
with
that.
the bacon.
And you're less exhausted. You
Yeah.
can be free. It's like you're naked all the time with this person. Like that's basically what transpansy is.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, but not in a scary way. Some people
not in a
think
scary way. It's a scary word.
Butt ass naked.
Right. Like you got a good point. Like there's this kind of like thing around the stigma around transparency.
Yeah. No, it's true. So I feel like transparency equals vulnerability, right?
Yeah,
and people, I feel like, who aren't okay with themselves yet and the vulnerable parts of themselves find it extremely like terrifying to be transparent or vulnerable with another person. I had to get to a point where I was okay with my shaky parts of myself, and I was aware of them, and I wasn't trying to apologize for them. And then I was okay with like sharing it, because I was like, I don't define myself based on how you view this part of me, whoever you are. Like, I'm okay with myself the way I am, and whether you accept that or not, I'm still gonna be that, and I'm still gonna work towards bettering myself. You know?
Yeah. So like, I mean, I feel the same way, of course.
Okay. Well, excellent. Before I go to the next question, I am going to give a quick shout out to Dunkin' Donuts. They actually sponsored today's podcast.
Hey, go crazy.
Free coffee every Monday. I don't know if you knew this, but especially in the Davenport area on Locust Street, there's free coffee on Mondays, free small coffee. So big shout out to them. Also, if you hear any crazy stuff in the background, just deal with it, because it's free coffee on Monday. So moving on to the next question. And this one goes to you first, Mark. Do you believe that there's a such thing as moving too fast or moving too slow? Or do you believe in just living in the moment now that you have been experiencing a new relationship?
That is hilarious that you said that. Because we actually had a conversation about that. You know what I'm saying? So like, we also felt like it was like weird how fast we were feeling for each other, as far as like how comfortable we are with each other now. But like, you know, as far as like, I feel like it's whatever you're feeling at that point, because, you know, there's a time on things. Obviously, you don't want to be able to rush it into anything, because if another person feels like they're rushed, you're not showing them true self at that point. But what I've been like practicing with myself lately is actually being whatever I'm feeling at that moment, I'm gonna actually be vocal with it. You know what I'm saying? Instead of actually hiding, it end up being like an emotion that I felt like, oh damn, I didn't get it to share or anything like that. So what I've been doing is just like sharing that, and obviously like I'm not trying to, while me sharing something, it's not to be able to pressure or make somebody feel some type of way. I'm just sharing what I'm feeling at the time. Doesn't mean everything's concrete. It's just something that flashed in my brain. So to go with that, as far as like how going fast or just going with the flow, I've been like an anxious person. You know what I'm saying? So as far as like worrying about the future and worrying about how things are going right now, I've kind of like focused on what I'm feeling at the moment. So like when I'm around, when I'm around Jess, what am I feeling at that moment? You know what I'm saying? And if I'm feeling something, I share with her. If I'm feeling like, and I'm not feeling anything, I will share that with her or anything like that.
He's a very good communicator.
Yeah, because I feel like if you don't communicate, that's just on your end. You're not being open to actually what a relationship is all about. Because if you don't communicate with nobody, with your partner, that's not going. Yeah. It doesn't last. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Especially at starting off. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have that clear communication or that seeing them eye to eye, I think it's going to be a lot of stuff that comes out of nowhere that maybe at that point you're not ready to deal with. You know what I'm saying? And you probably don't even know how to deal with that emotion. So for me, it's not really a time thing, because I feel like me sharing what I'm feeling right at the moment, expressing that to her, not to be able to change what she's thinking, of course, but like by me being open to what I'm feeling, she can be able to understand what I'm feeling at the time. So it's more of me. I guess it's more of me like just living in the moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's definitely just living in the moment. So like, my bad. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say just that, like, you being so open about that has helped me to feel open about telling you things, and not just like happy, wonderful things, like just like being real with you and be like, actually, I don't like this, or actually, I think we should slow down, or actually, anything about how I'm really feeling, not even about us, about like where we're going, things, and I don't know, for me, I've really appreciated you taking that initiative, because I would have really had to force myself to like tell you these things had you not done that.
And I feel like if you doing any, especially early off in a relationship, if you feel like you're forcing anything, you know what I'm saying, it's not going to be, if it's not flowing, if you're creating friction with anything, especially starting off, it's not actually meant to be, in a sense.
Yeah, pay attention to that.
Yeah, especially just be more observant of what they're feeling, you know what I'm saying? Also, be self-aware of yourself and be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
So like, be aware of what you're feeling, but if, I feel it the way I feel, I like to be able to be vocal with that, because I feel if I don't be vocal, it tampers with my mood, and it probably throws off a different signal of what she would read or something like that. Like if I'm feeling or I'm thinking, I have like my face, like my facial emotions, like my visual emotions, people can see when I'm looking, like how I'm feeling a little bit.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so like, and if I don't communicate with her, she probably think that I'm not enjoying her time or something like that. So I let her know what's going on, so she understands how I'm feeling, so she doesn't feel some type of way, or like start going in her head about
like
things.
Getting paranoid, like am I not enough?
Right,
because I mean, basically, it boils down to that. Like, am I not enough for this person? And that's what it kind of like. It's like, oh, there's all these little things that are masks for that question.
Yeah.
But that's
So so pretty much, what was talking? I keep losing my track.
No, you guys,
these are good questions.
the
moving
speed,
too fast.
Speed.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
The speed. Because I feel like, man, if you feel like you're going like fast and y'all communicate with each other, if y'all feel like it's still worth going slow, go slow. It's depending on how y'all feeling. It's like what I'm saying?
And like you could start off at a certain speed and then communicate well and be like, look, actually, like let's say you started really fast and you're like, actually, I feel like I didn't want to do that right away. I don't know why I did that. Can we slow down now? And like we did that, and it was fine.
It was actually well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But I think it also depends on like your motivation. Like how do I explain it? Like sometimes things go really fast because you're not looking for a relationship. You're looking to be like fulfilled by another person, and you're like denying something about yourself that you really need to actually like uncover yourself and not have someone come in the middle of that, because then you could hurt that person and yourself even more. You just get another scar. You know, and I've been there, and like I learned the hard way, but and that's the other reason like why like I decided I needed to just like work on myself, because I didn't want to take another person in and like have a horrible relationship again, and then be jaded again, and then start hating men again, and you know, just like it just ends up in this rabbit hole that doesn't have to happen. Had I like just focused on myself for a little bit and been okay with being single, because there's nothing wrong with being single. It can be like a great blessing, I think, and it can be fun as hell.
You must have listened to the first 2 podcasts. Word for word. Singleness is a blessing.
Yeah,
work on yourself
exactly.
Before,
I don't know why people get all crazy about it, but that being said, I really enjoy being in a relationship right now, and I don't feel like, what are the words people use, like cuffed or whatever, like this. That's
like
such
attached.
an ugly,
It's like a bad stigma to those words. She tied down or something.
Like,
tied down, damn.
It creates that like sense of control, and I think that's like the worst thing.
And then like here's the thing, like ain't nobody gonna control me unless I allow them to, right?
Say it again.
Right.
Oh shit.
But I don't feel controlled by Mark, and I don't think Mark feels controlled by me. No. And we feel very comfortable with each other, and I think that's what matters the most. Like, I have severe anxiety, and I had a little anxiety attack the other day, and Mark handled it very well, and that really told me a lot about him, and a lot about how I can feel around him, and so that it was all positive, all good things, and I think it was a very important moment for me in trusting him. But yeah, I don't know if that.
No,
we're going all over the place.
I swear this happens to everybody that gets on.
Let's talk about some shit.
Because when you ask somebody a question, it starts to bring out things that they didn't even know was there, you know?
Yeah.
And they're like, wow, where did all this like knowledge and stuff come from?
Yeah.
And it's just all in there, but it just takes the right things to bring it out. And of course, we're like excited.
Yeah.
So
dropping bars. Kicking Knowledge, by the way. Kicking Knowledge.
Oh, yeah.
I do a little series, Kicking Knowledge. Check me out, Mark Lloyd Height. Uber Awandi, Uber_Awandi70 on Instagram.
Follow him,
holla at me, you know what I'm saying?
I take his pictures.
For sure, yeah. The Rib takes the pictures real quick.
Yep.
Real good angles.
Did y'all hear that? The Rib takes the pictures. Did you get the reference of the? Okay.
The Rib takes the profile bars.
That's what he does on Kicking Knowledge. So please check out Mark's series. It's amazing. He breaks down lyrics, he breaks down words, word structure, all of that. So please check that out.
In the way, check that out. I'll go into a little bit of why I do that. I'm a person of diction. I like to be able to read between the lines about everything. So check it out. I feel like you would enjoy it.
Oh yeah.
You would.
Okay. Next question. And this one is for you, Jess, since Mark got the last one.
Okay.
All right.
What is some advice that you can give to other new couples who are just beginning their relationship?
Okay. Making fun of me. New advice. See, I don't think I know a ton or have enough experience, but I will try my best.
She's very knowledgeable. Don't let her lie to you. Go ahead.
Oh my god. Well, I would say, first of all, you're just dating the person, right? You're just getting to know them. They are not your mate forever yet. So don't freak out over the technicalities, first of all. Like, you can think your own thoughts, be your own person, and be unapologetic about that, and it'll be okay. And if it doesn't work out, that's okay. There are literally plenty of fish in the sea. It's for the one person, okay?
For sure.
Then what I would also say is just be yourself and allow that person to be themselves, and just go with the flow. Don't overthink anything. Don't be thinking about the future too much. I mean, keep the future in mind, right? That's always
Have
good.
a plan,
have
yeah.
a plan, have an aim, but don't freak out over it. Oh, is he buying me flowers? Oh, is he doing this? Oh, is he doing that? Like, do you like him as a person? Because first of all, yeah, he may be handsome, yeah, he may be cute, but he's gonna be ugly one day. And he's not gonna be rich forever. He's not gonna be poor forever. He's not gonna wear the same clothes forever. His body's gonna change throughout his life. Like, all these things, just don't focus on his mind. For girls, right? Focus on her mind and see if you like that. See if you can be their friend. See if you genuinely 100% like them. Like, you want to hang out with them. Like, you want to do things with them. You want to do whatever with them. You know? Am I making sense? Sort of? Kind of?
Perfectly. So
Well, damn. Yeah, no, it makes sense to me. I mean, that's some good knowledge right there. Mark, same question for you. I mean, from a guy's perspective, what kind of advice can you give to someone that's going into a new relationship?
The advice that I actually took, I take the advice for myself because I feel like this can be able to be for everybody. Be transparent. So, like, if you got something that you need to be able to be said, don't beat around the bush. For me, I'm a blunt person. I like things going up, like, be told up front. Some people like to sugarcoat shit. I'm not about that. So if something is going on in my brain, I like to be able to let it be known. So, I don't, no crazy shit. Just be very open about what you want, and also, like, be like you just said, be yourself. Good tips about that. Don't be overly. Don't try to hit the home run on the, like, you know what I'm saying. Try to, like, be the person for everybody within that first day. Just be yourself, and honestly, it will actually work out because. Me being who I was, being who I am, and, like, being completely who I am, and also sharing how I am with her, like, actually being her friend first. Be friends first, honestly. Being a friend towards that person, because ultimately that's going to figure out if you want to be around them a lot, even in your down times. Like, you don't want to be bothered with anybody. But I feel like when I'm in my downtime, Jess will understand that, like, I can still be around her because I feel comfortable being around her in my downtime. You know what I'm saying? Find, like, a partner you can be able to vent to, you know what I'm saying? But also, find somebody that you can have fun with, genuine fun, like, really not even doing anything but still laugh and have time with. But so the way of doing so is just knowing that person, see if that person is meant for you. But yeah, just, see how things is. I don't know if I'm actually hitting the question well, but, like,
I feel like we should give them examples, like things we did. Like, we went for walks.
Yeah.
Really long walks.
I like to walk around and, like,
Me too.
do a lot of stuff. So, like, I would just go walk down the river or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Not on the river, by the river.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sorry.
I'm Peter sometimes, bro. Nah, but, like, yeah, just taking walks and then also enjoying the person's company. Like, we literally would just walk around
For hours,
yo.
or just sit in the car.
For hours.
We went to an art museum a few times.
We went in
for free.
We went into the same art museum 2 times just because we like seeing art and then also just like being around each other.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good tip you guys brought up. Find free things to do.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
Before you start spending crazy amounts of money on somebody.
Yes.
Like, don't invest all your money into somebody if you don't know that person is really there for you quite yet. I know some people who kind of just date just to get free meals. That's not everybody. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I've done that.
I've done that too. Now.
So, find a way to make it free and romantic. So walks on the river,
and it's like all about that simple stuff.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
And when you really think about it, you think about all those cute little butterfly-inducing stories you hear about your grandparents, and they did this and all this cute stuff. Notebook movies type stuff.
Never seen it.
It's all the simple things.
Yeah.
It's the tiny simple things that, like, you think, I have to do this grandiose gesture. Yeah, maybe one day when you know they're the one, but it doesn't have to start like that. And it can be I think girls who can accept that can go the distance.
ooh, Yeah.
For the men out there, advice.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think that you guys are a proven fact that it doesn't matter what you're doing. If you really enjoy a person's company, you'll have a good time.
Yeah.
Like, you could be laying in the back of a truck looking at stars. You could be watching a movie. You could be going through a tough time. And because you're with that person, it's going to make that experience so much better.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, for sure, though.
Well, is there any last tips you got for the viewers?
Something that I did is I made a list of things that I want in a man after I knew for a fact what I didn't want. And I think that list helped me. Just something about writing those. It's kind of like a goal. You know what I mean? You write them down. And you're like, okay, like you think about it and then you write it down and it feels more tangible. And I just left the list alone. And now that Mark is coming to my life, I didn't plan for this. I didn't ask for this. I was fine being single. But Mark hits a lot of the things on my list. Like the vast majority. I haven't looked at my list, but I know that you do. And I think that really helped me and helped motivate me and to wait for the right one and not like give up or like what's the word, like not settle, you know what I mean? Because I think a lot of girls I know get real nervous, like, oh my god, I'm getting older, you know, all these fuck boys are coming at me and like that's all I'm worth. You know, you feel like that you're defined by the guys who come to you. But sometimes you are, sometimes you aren't. But either way, I just decided that I wasn't gonna mess with anyone till I felt like that person was worth my time. And I feel like you're worth my time, Mark. A lot of my time.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But I feel like for me, it's because what I think my problem was, I was going out and trying to search for a lot of things that I wanted out of a woman instead of searching. But I feel a lot of things for me was I needed to be able to look into myself, be able to better myself. And once I did that and better myself, she came to me, you know what I'm saying? Like, in the sense that, like, I didn't really have to go searching for anything. It just happened this way, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it was almost
effortless.
Yeah, it wasn't like I didn't have to do any effort at all. She literally hits all the things I was looking for in a woman all into one. So it was like, wow, bet. You know what I'm saying? Oh, no, I ain't trying to get nobody no big head in here.
It's okay, my head's big.
She wear size, what's the hat sizes now?
I don't even know.
I wear 2X and helmet though, straight up. Big ass head. But yeah, just like, if you feel like you're having trouble as far as like, what are you looking for? Like I was telling you that one day, that guy at the library came up to me. He was like, "Man, I'm trying to find some bitches." I'm like, "Whoa, why you think I know where the bitches is?" I appreciate that, but like, I feel like I think we had two different goals, and I feel like, you know, if he was just to link in for what he's doing, you know what I'm saying, to like, you know what I'm saying, bettering himself, the quote unquote bitches would come to him.
Yeah. Even the term going out the gate is like, oh, you're probably not gonna find any women.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, why you coming to me too first? You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm not one of them. But like, no, I feel like I could probably use his way of, you know, sparking up a conversation. But like for him, I feel like his mind was somewhere that I feel like if he was to put it towards somewhere else, it will come once you actually focus on bettering yourself, I feel. Yeah. And when I started bettering myself.
The other thing is that, like, I noticed about you, like, I could totally sense from, like, the first time that you knew exactly what you wanted. And you weren't gonna, I don't know, I really, how do I say this?
From what it sounds like, you're saying, like, he wasn't afraid to walk away from you because he knew what he wanted in a woman.
Like you weren't about to settle either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I like that because you're decisive. There's so many guys out there who are so indecisive.
Oh, wow.
And it's so frustrating
It's
sometimes. You know? So indecisive.
Yeah, we spoke about that on the
Did you really?
on the last
So we haven't
episode.
heard any of the things. Yeah, so we hitting them all. I
No,
guess.
you're hitting all the things that I feel like a lot of people don't recognize as common knowledge, but you're hitting a lot of things tonight that are just like, it's not just about women. Guys are a very key factor in why relationships nowadays are just not meshing well, they're just not working out. And I think a big part of it is just that, like, there's so many options out there, and social media has made it completely
Society, period.
hard
Yeah,
to
like,
even like
boy.
make up your mind. Like, okay, well, I have feelings for this person, but then every day I'm seeing multiple women post whatever kind of picture, and then I'm like instantly like changing my mind all the time.
Oh, okay.
And you know,
What do I like?
Yeah, what do I like? And
What am I looking for?
and then you throw in the
What are
fact
my
that
goals?
delayed gratification is not even a thing right now.
yeah.
And they say it's not a thing for us millennials. It's like now you got people who want instant gratification, so they want that girl
That's
on
not
social
sustainable.
media. It's not sustainable. And they want them right now, so they put in energy just to get what they want right there. And then if they get what they want, then they no longer have that same energy to pursue a long relationship.
Yeah.
And if they do,
And girls play into that too.
oh yeah,
They say, oh, this is the way the guy's acting, so then I have to respond in kind. When really, like, if he want to act like that, he can act like that all by himself somewhere else in a corner. You know what I'm saying? Like, girls have to, like, if that's why I really think as a woman I need to know my worth and my value as a person before I go into a relationship. Because if I'm not secure in that and the person that I am, and I'm not okay with myself, then I'm never gonna be okay with myself in a relationship. I'm gonna be constantly, it's gonna be all bad, and then I'm gonna be sad, and then all these boys are gonna walk all over me, and I'm gonna,
Yep.
you know, like it's just, and then I'm gonna be wondering what's wrong with me. I give them everything, and nothing happens. Well, yeah, you give them everything, but you need to,
Give yourself something.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
think
Yeah.
about yourself, what you really need,
Yeah.
and
Exactly.
take the road less traveled.
exactly.
Honey.
Exactly.
Anyway,
Now you hit them all. Wrap it up.
yeah,
Good
thanks.
shit.
I tried.
But yeah, one thing I want to be able to say, grown men bars is something you got to deal with. All that fabricating lies and lies you tell yourself ain't gonna equal up to this real shit. I'll leave it to you, Derek.
That was a little sample of kicking bars and some real knowledge if you didn't catch what he said. But yeah, once again, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to episode 6 of the Good Relationships podcast. We got a real treat for you guys. In the next coming episodes, we're doing a series called Red Flags in Relationships. So you're going to get to hear a lot of different people's stories, real raw stories about their red flags in relationships. So
I go ahead?
definitely
No.
want to you'll definitely want to tune into that. And yeah, it's going to be on all the major podcast platforms, Spotify, Pocket Cast, iTunes soon. So be sure to check in on those things. And yeah, lovebirds, stay blessed, not stressed.